Hispanic Heritage Month is happening now through October 15th. Next Thursday, October 17th, Houston is hosting the second annual Latina Entrepreneurship Conference. The event will feature more than 200 Latina-owned small businesses. And throughout the week, we're hosting businesses here in Studio A. On Friday, we're going to learn more about the conference, so you don't want to miss that. Joining me live in Studio A right now, Elvia Quintanilla, CEO of Texas Technical Trade School. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me here.
This is a really exciting opportunity to be able to have this conversation, to learn more about your business, but also what this means in the grand scheme of things and opening the doors for more entrepreneurs.
Yes.
First, before we get into that, tell us all about your business.
Well, I founded a vocational trade school in the state of Texas, and what we do is workforce development and economic development. So what we do is we empower our communities in scholarship in high demand trades such as electrical and HVAC. So that is what I do. That's my passion. I was an opportunity youth once I was going, as a young adult, and a lot of the students that we help, that is the way that we help them by scholarship, but not just in any type of trade, a trade that there's a lot of demand for.
Yeah. High demand.
High demand. Yes.
You identifying that need, and it sounds like that was work that you did years ago.
Yes.
Talk to us about getting the ball rolling and what it's meant to you to be a young entrepreneur in the Latina community. Talk to us about that journey.
Well, it's definitely difficult because you're growing up, I don't have a lot of business owners in my family, but we have a lot of grit. That's something that we have in the Hispanic community. Yeah. We have a lot of grit, and I learned that very young with my parents, that every situation is not always going to be perfect, but we had to get out of it somehow, some way. And that is, what I do in business every day. So there's always a problem, there's always a solution, but it's how you go about that solution ethically. I think that's the perfect way to do that in education and in business. It just goes hand together. But yeah, that's one of the ways that I was able to do that, and that's where I came from as far as my background and why I do what I do. I always knew I wanted to be a business owner. I just didn't know what I was going to do. Yeah. But, my calling was here. My purpose is here, and I'm just so blessed to be able to have a school where I can not only say I can help people, but I can show them how I can help them and put them into jobs and really make money for themselves so they can be independent.
Clearly your heart is obvious here, and that is to help others. And
yes.
If you have the heart and you have the grit and you have the determination, a lot of it's up here, right? Having that mindset and just making it come to fruition, no matter what it takes, you can do it. You can make it happen.
Anybody can.
Talk to us about how you're inspiring the rest of your community to get going and to follow their dreams and to make it happen.
Well, I am very one-on-one with my students. I am not just the founder of a school. I'm very active in my school. The way that I'm active in the school is, I find ways and create opportunities of scholarships. So we partner with nonprofits, a lot of great nonprofits here in Houston. One of them that we just partnered with, an initiative, 10 ladies started in the cohort yesterday, an all-woman cohort for electricians. This is the shirt that we created.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, so thank you, sir, for jobs, for paying for all the tuition for the students and partnering with us and choosing us as their trainer to train our young ladies and women to go into the field. So that is one way, but in the summer, I shut down the school and reserve it to only youth that are graduating high school. And I scholarship 90% of those students because they qualify. And we go to different high schools throughout the year to identify and speak about workforce development. So I don't just speak about workforce development, I live workforce development every day. I have a 16-year-old son that's ADHD. We just learn differently, that's it. And there's a lot of kinesthetic learners that can really make really good money, be independent, get a grant, and our community needs to hear that.
I have cold chills as you're speaking. You are truly inspirational. And you get it, right? You have a grasp on what needs to happen and how you're going to make that happen. Focusing on the young women here who are in these different schools, these different programs, what is it about them? What advice have you perhaps learned throughout your journey that you would like to pass on to them? Obviously they're taking this first step in getting out there and pursuing their dreams, but it's tough work. There are challenges along the way. There are going to be days that they say, you know what, I'm done. This is it. This is not for me. But you got to follow it through. You got to see it through. What are some bits of advice, words of wisdom that have helped you be as successful as you are?
Don't be your own worst enemy. A lot of the times we get in our own heads.
Yeah.
So I always tell all my students, especially my ladies, I let them know, it's like, you might not see yourself out there, but that's exciting because you're the innovator there. And it is scary. You know, a lot of the times you feel alone, you feel like you don't belong, you feel like, you know, people don't want that you around, but it's all in our head a lot of the times. And maybe whenever we reach out a little bit more, or when we just, you know, say, show up every day, consistently showing up, people are gonna get your respect. So I just tell them, don't think of all the noise. Just show up, be yourself. And in construction, it's skill-based. So I always tell them, it doesn't matter how you look and who you are, it's a skill. If you can show you can do it, the employer's gonna love you.
Elvia, thank you so much for coming in this morning. We're getting a hard wrap. Really quick though, where can people go to connect with you?
They can go to at Texas Tech Trade and Instagram and Facebook, or they can go to our website at texastechtrade.com.
Okay, great information.